That's a head injury, so.
I'm glad to say more. There we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Call the meeting to order. Wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving so I don't forget at the end. We've pledged, everybody signed. Did you guys get a chance to read the minutes?
I did. I didn't say anything wrong with it.
I'll make a motion to accept the November 12th, 2019 Selectmen meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? So moved.
And the sign this copy.
Do that. Any adjustments to the agenda while we are signing? Any public comments? So, do I have to officially open the public hearing?
Yes. We did make a motion to open the public hearing for Adrian Wilder doing business as River Hossick Well liquor license.
I'll make, did you just do that?
I did.
I'll second it
Can
then.
you make
Well,
a
you
motion?
first that,
Yeah,
you can say so moved.
So moved.
Can't go for a second. All those in favor? All right. Public hearing for the River House and Well is open. So I believe the purpose is for anybody who would like to comment on whether or not they should have a liquor license. Be proud for that.
So where is this particular place?
It's the old Phoenix.
Okay.
Without any comments, I think we just need a motion to,
Close
have you got the license? Oh, we closed the public hearing,
You're
and we
gonna
read
close
the
the
license?
public hearing,
Okay.
and then you vote on the license.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing for Adrian Wilder, DBA River House and Well liquor license.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Public meeting is closed.
I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor license for Wilders, Wilders and
River House and Well.
River House and Well.
We gotta have a blue.
We got a motion and a second?
No, we have a first.
Okay,
I'll
motion,
second
yeah.
it.
Yeah. All those in favor? So moved, and yes, I need blue. I got a blue.
I have a blue pen, that is not blue. It's deceiving,
I gotta go out.
I know.
You got the $10?
Yes, yep, she paid it and she dropped it off and
Very good.
The rest is history.
the rest is history.
Still doing the smorgasbord breakfast up there?
We're doing breakfast to order off a menu. We'll be doing Saturdays and Sundays from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Nice.
It's kind of Frank's specialty. The old Phoenix.
You
Right by South.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
I
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh, who's gonna volunteer to go to jail if anything goes wrong?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, see ya. On to new business. We have a liquor license from Frank's Restaurante, which is up in the old, or it's up in the Fallen condominiums. This is a renewal,
This is a renewal.
so we don't need a public hearing for this.
Nope.
So I look for a motion for.
So you said this one's in the fall line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 Fallon Drive.
Yeah. It's been there, the restaurant has been there for I think as long as Fall Line was built. Was run by Sunday River for a while. I don't know if anybody other than Frank has been in there, but Frank has done it, this would be.
They had a Mexican place in there.
Oh, right, that's right, I forgot, yeah,
After the
yes.
Sunday River
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, it was. Yeah, for a couple of years, and then Frank has done it for the past
Long that.
three or four or five. I don't know of any issues with it.
I'll make a motion that we approve Frank Rezarante's liquor license.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? So moved. I gotta keep the blue pen out.
We don't wanna have to make him come back.
No. I like the town of Newry pen, Amy, are these new?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
That deal, like 50 cents a pen.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I got a flyer in the mail for them.
Yeah.
Haven't thought about
We'll
it
put
yet.
them out. Same company that does the planners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very nice. Discuss and consider a joint select board meeting with Greenwood, Woodstock, and Bethel to discuss destination academy areas to consider. So, do you want me to fill them in? Do you want to fill
Yeah, I
them in?
think you really should fill us all in. Mhm.
Okay, Northern Forest,
Northern border.
Northern-
Northern forest, northern border commission. Some kind of grant, right?
yeah, has a grant, they've done this in a number of towns. The purpose of the Destination Academy, that I was saying at the beginning, is, so tourism is coming. They did it in Rangeley, they've done it in Greenville, you know, I mean, that tourism is coming, I mean, it's here, but it's gonna continue to grow. With that assumption, we can just let it happen, the city, you know, let it follow its natural course and see where it goes. Or we can be more, right word, diligent about it, more, you know, we can try to do it. Yeah, more intentional, we can be more intentional about it. So, the unique piece with this, as it always seems to be unique with us, is kind of like, Heart and Soul. Heart and Soul typically goes to a town and does a study. When they came here, they did a study of a region, of a community. This is the same piece.
Approach.
So it is, you know, it's a study of basically it's, you know, it's talking about all of us, it's talking about, you know, and I would think that Greenwood, I'm sorry, that Gilead and Hanover and Albany would be involved in.
Yeah, basically right now it's the said 44 towns that are listed.
Yeah, right, and that, you know, if you think about the impact of, you know, lakes, rivers, streams, mountains, skiing, hunting, snowmobiling, and all of that, that's where it's all happening.
Yeah.
So, so coming out of that, and I sat through, well, 2 days of meetings, one full day and then 2 half days of meetings. It was good, it was well done, the presenters done us a bunch, lots of good thought. It's difficult to explain what happened in 2 days and 2 minutes. So, want to put together a gathering of everybody, you know, get a larger community in the room to present the idea of, okay, tourism is coming, do we want to be, you know, do we want to plan what's going to come, or do we just want to let it happen? If we're going to do that, you know, if Newry, Greenwood, Woodstock, Bethel all do it independently, it has less impact. But we don't have a voting body. You know, there's really no voting body that is, I mean, SAD 44, right? But that's, you know, Booth Bay, and I hope I'm not wrong, Booth Bay Harbor, and a couple of other little towns, they did get together, and they have a memorandum of understanding that says, okay, we'll do this together. And basically, I think what they created was a economic council, you know, a business council. That was how they did it. But the goal coming out of the meeting was to see if we could get all the select boards together, have someone do a better job than me explaining what this is all about, what the potentials are, and could we work together? You know, could there be a memorandum of understanding between the towns that would, you know, help us steer our futures? So that's in a nutshell. And I, you know, it's, the point you made at the beginning is correct. It's happening. So, now trying to steer it may not be anything we can do. It may just happen organically. Or we can try to be more intentional, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
So after that academy was over, Vern and Kim and Loretta asked if we could meet and kind of talk about
Right, they were all.
what we can do as towns to like identify what we do well and see if there's something we can do at a regional approach, but knowing that we would really need to do it at the board level. It can't be at a manager level. It has to have the voting body of each community to you don't like this term, but buy into, yeah, we're gonna look at things and approach things regionally and come to some kind of understanding regionally about if we're gonna do this and how we're gonna do it.
Right, would that be, you know, would that be helpful?
Yeah.
And it's things like signs, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, wayfaring signs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just, so, you know, if you connect in, and I don't know if it happens now, but do all the snowmobile trails have the same signs? They probably do. Yeah,
Their
but-
main.
Yeah, so someone, you know, someone decided that, okay, you gotta get on a snowmobile, it doesn't matter which town you're in, you gotta know where you're going.
Yeah.
It'd be similar to that, I guess, I can't come up with a better example, but.
So was this like, for word better than, not a good thing, I guess, but is this for promoting some of the places that are already overburdened now, like Step Falls,
I don't know.
Frenchman? I mean, you're talking tourism here. My concern is
I'll tell you, yeah.
if this goes out in a tourism, we've already got some problems in some areas. I mean, is this something if we can maybe pull the reins on them particular issues, or?
Well, I think that I think you have identified an area of consideration that we could try to regionally approach, like talking to the chamber about not promoting those spots because they are overburdened. And between what the chamber is pushing out and what's pushing out on just independent internet searches, those you know, resources in our communities are to their max. They're maxed out. They really should not be.
Without moving to the, you're right, you're dead right. Without trying to move to the solutions, that's what the group would get together to say, okay, here's the issue. Here's, you know, here's
No,
what
I
happened.
just wanted to know if that was one
Yeah,
of the
that's
things
what-
that.
Like your point of Step Falls, that sucker is dangerous up there. They tread that down so bad, the roots are sticking out of the
Oh,
ground
yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah.
We had a woman fell and
Yeah,
broke her leg.
so that would be something that,
I mean, I'm willing to go talk with it, but I don't really want that promoted anymore, you know, because something's gonna happen up there that before long, that's probably people aren't gonna like, but, you know, if we can help pull back the reins a little bit, then I'm all for it. And it's not just there, it's,
Other places.
I mean, you got right arrest, I mean, there's not enough parking and stuff there,
and we
and,
just fixed it.
right, and, you know, Frenchman's is the same way, those would be some of my concerns.
Right.
And recognizing that those issues have occurred and trying to find a progressive way to address.
More
some-
intentional way to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Those are
That's what
examples
you're
of,
looking for.
those are examples of, that just happened.
Yeah.
You know, pretty tough to go to any one of those places and go, man, this place is not gorgeous. You know, like, why would you not wanna be there?
Right.
You feel like you found something, you feel like, you know, why would you not wanna be there? But you tell all your buddies, and they tell all their buddies, and
Right,
everybody promotes it, and all of a sudden, now we've got the unforeseen consequence, the consequence which you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can't even walk on the trail so much, it's so beaten down.
Yeah.
So this would be, and not, again, not to go into the specifics or down into the weeds of what it is, but it's addressing what happens to our community when, and how do we address
Right.
that?
When we get more people wanna promote that stuff.
Right, and it, you know, do we get help to manage that? Do we get help, you know, is there grant money out there that fixes the trail, that rebuilds the trail in a different way that can sustain, you know, but, or it just, it's managed and there's a gate and it's full, you know, I mean, you, at some point, the gate comes down and thanks for coming.
I don't have a problem with talking with them about it.
Yeah.
And seeing
Right.
what their deal is.
And I'm assuming that the Northern Forest folks would lead that meeting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it would be,
We talked about having a facilitator because there's a lot of chiefs in that room from 4 different communities.
Right.
And, you know, having one person being responsible to facilitate that
Right.
meeting is important to make sure it's productive.
right, agreed. Yep.
So that was our thought process, but we wanted to bring it to each of the communities, make sure that the boards felt like it was a valuable use of your time before we move forward.
Well, I mean, it will be if we can put it out there and say, we have concerns about, you know,
Yeah, and I think that is what that meeting is supposed to be about, is just bring potential areas in which we can work better together than we can effectively control an issue alone.
Yeah, I personally, I think it's worth doing. You know, having spent the 2 days there, I think it's worth doing, but I'm with you, Amy. I don't wanna go sit in a meeting and just have a conversation about we should do something. You know,
Right.
if someone can facilitate that, you know,
right,
and the facilitator who was here for the, meeting was excellent.
Okay.
So, the state's pretty heavily involved, there was a bunch of folks from the state, you know, Office of Tourism was there. There was a lot of folks in the room, it wasn't, you know, it was town officials, it was business, it was nonprofit. There was just a number of folks in the room, Google Academy was in the room. It's a big piece, and the state, you know, the state is pretty pleased with what they've seen happen in Greenville, Rangeley, and I'm missing someplace, maybe it is Bar Harbor, Boot Bay.
I'm not sure.
That would be a good place for it, I would think.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we're not alone in our concerns, there's other places that have to deal with the same thing, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel, but, yeah, I think it would be time well spent. So, my 2 cents.
So I don't think we're gonna be able to do this until after Christmas, just because that's
after
one
the
month.
holidays,
This,
And,
after the middle of
Yeah.
January or something.
yeah,
this January 15th that you had down here, that's the same deal?
no, this is a summit, so that would be the facilitator coming and talking to stakeholders in the community about Destination Academy and the pillars.
Would we meet before that?
That was the hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe it's right before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
don't,
we're open to having that conversation.
Well, I guess it would be probably do us good to go in there and express our concerns.
And listen to what they're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to disrupt public landowners, I guess, but that's something we can talk about then, so.
Sure.
I've said my piece on that for now.
So we're open.
yeah, you don't need a motion or a vote on that, yeah. Open for the conversation, but, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'd like to see it facilitated, you know, by someone other than one of the local board members.
Or an outside person.
Yeah, that's it, right. Yeah, I mean, someone who does this for a living is who we're hoping will come.
Yeah, I would rather see that than just,
What?
just because sometimes you start this thing like the school board, like the getting out of the school district
Right.
turned out, you know, I'd rather see an individual that's nothing, no interest in it. I mean,
Right.
maybe have the interest, but.
Interest in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's probably from someone from the state or the Northern Forest that will help us out. Consider and discuss a quarterly expense summary report.
So
Guessing it's the one that's
I
titled expense summary report.
tried, last year we were pretty successful about doing this every month. And then it didn't happen, and that's my fault. So I'm trying to make an effort so that you guys understand where we are with the budget, to bring this to you monthly. So I need you to hold me accountable and let me know that it needs to be on the agenda so that we understand where we are. Fiscally, what budgets are in concern and what are not. That's really what it boils down to. Currently, we're at the end of March, so we no longer have any more accounts payable or payroll warrants for March, so we're 43% of the way through the budget. And some of these departments are paid out 100% because we pay them once a year, and that's just the way it works.
So this isn't, these numbers aren't truly up to date?
No, they are.
No, you said way through March.
Oh, November, I'm sorry.
Through
Did I
November.
say March? Oh, goodness.
Get ahead of yourself, Amy.
July to November on the paper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yes, we're currently through November completely as far as AP and payroll is concerned. So there are a few of these budgets that are, and they're pretty decent sums of money, like the capital improvement line, that was for road maintenance, and that is at 100%. So actually it's at 106% because we had some overages.
So the budget is,
The first column,
but the budget is 12 months.
yes.
And so we're comparing what we spent in 11 to 12 months. If this is through November, right? You know, so at the beginning of the year.
5 months, so July.
Oh, right, got it, yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, but we're comparing it to the 12-month spend.
Yeah.
It's not a monthly budget,
No,
right? Right,
it
okay.
doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Any concerns, Amy? You know, anything pop off the page to you, like, we missed it here, we gotta,
I think the admin budget may go over, unfortunately. Training, it doesn't look it right now, but the training line and the wages line, they look pretty solid, but I believe that I pay you guys out of them too. So I don't know, I had real concerns about the wages line just because of the change in staffing that was not anticipated, and
Yeah.
then paying for fill-in positions at a much higher rate.
Yeah.
So that, I thought that was gonna be an area of concern, but it's not proving to be at the moment, so fingers crossed. The accounting line, we haven't paid any of the bills yet, but that's, I think is gonna be a concern. The legal line is gonna be an area of concern, we're already at 98%. Registry of deeds, even though this is a kind of an in and out, we're way
we're at 30%.
yeah.
So what is that?
So when you pay off your liens, we collect the money in a GL, and it offsets this expense line. So when I go and somebody pays their lien, I have to go and record that discharge to the registry of deeds. And when I have to send out liens, I have to record that at the registry of deeds, and that's $19 a page. That's what that line is, and it's, yeah, it's a lot. So those, I thought were going to be areas of concern. Everything else looks pretty solid. We're definitely gonna be over on, yeah, on the third party requests. and I probably should move it over, but we got an unexpected bill from the Mahoosic Kids for swimming lessons. We had 5 kids taking swimming lessons, and, Bethel Rec Department was paying for all of those, and then they were like, well, you gotta build the towns, and we never got word that we were gonna get billed. So next year, I know that we're going to need to increase our rec committee budget, because $500 is not enough, that's just gonna pay for swimming lessons.
Where, so where's like the kids playing baseball and all that? That's not in the.
That's in the rec department, so the rec committee is on page 4, and we haven't paid anything. Usually we pay this out in like May or June
Right,
when,
yeah, the kids all start
when the
playing.
kids start playing, you
Yeah.
know, what are,
Yep, okay.
Yep. I thought sanitation might be an issue, but it seemed to hold strong. And the fire department budget is doing excellent. So,
Is the school not in this? Separate?
School is on page 3, page 3, and it's
I got
3 up from the top, and we
You got it.
pay that every month, so.
Yep.
I think we're actually doing better
Yeah.
than I had expected us to be at this point.
So if I go to the finals,
Yeah.
on a $5 million budget, we spent 2.6, so we're halfway through it.
Yeah, and most of the reason we're over that 43% is because we already had to pay 100% of the county, and we
Right.
already paid 100% of the capital.
Right.
So that's $400,000 right
Okay,
there,
Right,
that,
so it puts us in pretty good shape.
that puts us in pretty good shape,
Because is November 5 months?
5 months,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice, thank you.
And we're gonna do this at the end of every month, or
So-
the beginning of the next month.
So this will be, we'll see this like second meeting of the month, is that what your plan is?
I think really ideally we should be doing it the first meeting of every month for the prior
For the
month.
prior month, okay.
Yeah. Everything should be posted by that, and
So
then
you just make that a standing agenda
that
item.
should just be a standing agenda
Yeah.
item.
Very nice. Consider and discuss adult use marijuana,
Mhm.
take 2, ready?
Yep,
Consider and discuss adult use in medical marijuana permits.
okay. So these are the application permits that are associated with the ordinances that we passed on November 5th. I did like cost analysis on the last page or second to last page to see like how long I think it's gonna take, what is, legal ad fee, the licensing fee and the processing fee. And I did both, but the adult use one, I don't think we need a processing fee of $250 per person for background checks, because the state does this for us, does not do this for us for medical.
So the adult use one, we can cross off.
The $250, we don't need a processing fee, I just don't know how much of a processing fee.
How much it's gonna cost? and
Yeah.
shit. I mean, this was a,
Right.
Trying to figure out, like, if this takes a week to go through this application and make sure it's all the Ts are crossed and the Is are dotted and everything looks good before I bring it to you, a week's worth of work, plus sending it to the sheriff and having his time considered into it. Legal ad definitely is gonna take us at the $300 range, because legal ads are crazy expensive. Not so bad in the Citizen, but in the Sun Journal, an ad this big can cost $250. So,
And then so you're proposing the licensing fee is
I am,
the $25,500 based on $2,000, the top one says licensing fee.
yep,
What, that's a week's worth of office work?
a week's worth of office work to process, plus the sheriff's time as well.
Okay.
And that's just on the retail, or is that on?
So they're both retail, and this is a adult, I think
adult?
the licensing fee should be the same for both.
Right,
I think the processing fee should be more for medical than adult use, because the state does the background checks for adult use, and they have not proposed to do that for, the process for adult use is so extensive that once you get that preliminary license from the state, you're gonna be reviewing what they've done, and then making sure that all of the components of our ordinance is being fulfilled as well. So, it's not as much work for us to do an adult use one, we're just double checking and, checking in with the state to make sure that what they sent to us is exactly what it's supposed to be. Medical is really laissez-faire, and I think for us to follow our ordinance, it's gonna take a lot more time and money to do the process and a medical.
So will that have to go through the planning board process?
No. That goes to you.
Okay.
The only thing that I see here is, we've got this 25-50 fee, but if we had 6 partners in this, that we have to do background check on, then we need to make sure that we're covering that.
So it says 25, 50 or more,
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
would be, all right.
because I tried to make it as clear as possible.
You did, I didn't. get
Yeah,
it
the
till-
third party I used for the background check for the new hires was $250 if they were internal. If they're external and they're out of state, it's more expensive. So every state has a criminal background check inquiry, so that's where I came up with the figure.
Could it be done as, that, whatever the number is, that, the licensing fee is $2,000, per owner it is $300, or whatever, so you got one owner, it's $2,300, you got 2 owners, it's $2,600. Do we put it like that? Does it have to be specific, does it have to be one number, or could we do it, how many owners you wanna have? 10 owners, it's gonna cost more.
And I think that's what I'm trying to do here.
That's what you're working, that's how,
That's what I'm trying to do.
okay.
By saying the processing fee, because the processing fee is really the
Per
background.
person,
check.
I get it, per
Per
person,
person,
I got it.
background check, that's
I
why
got
when I put it in, I put it as 25, 50 or more.
So can we just call it the background check? Is there a
Yeah,
reason?
put background check fee.
Is the 250 enough? The only reason I'm asking that is the rate's gonna go up here, that we need to kind of a little ahead of it.
Here's the law is pretty clear that we can only charge what it's gonna cost us.
Okay, so the
I
background,
can't make, as much as I'd love for you guys to make
Understood.
money off
Right.
of this,
right,
it's not supposed to cost you anything. It's
so but if the background fees did go up in the future,
We
got
could-
to up.
we.
Yeah, and in the ordinance, so, once we have this application kind of readied and we're good, then I'm gonna bring back the ordinance, because in the ordinance, you have the authority to set the fees. And that's gonna be the next step. The next step at the next meeting will be, these are the fees for the town of Newry, for a medical and adult use. And like I said, as much as everybody seems to think that we should charge more for adult use, the state has done the towns a disservice by not addressing medical in the same way that they've addressed adult use, because the state does the majority of the work, you're just double checking the state's work for adult use.
So I'm getting mixed up with the titles of these things.
Okay.
So the licensing fee is not talking about the total thing. The licensing fee is for the administrative work and the sheriff's work.
Yeah.
So should we title it? I don't know if those are the words, but I don't know what you call it. And then because
So that is what it says in the state.
Cost of the
If the
licensing fee?
licensing fee can only cover the costs of processing the license and time and materials. So the processing fee, I really think is when you have to bring in a third party to assist you in processing the application, that's
the background check. Right.
Yeah.
And then the legal aid is for a lawyer to review it?
Legal ad.
Legal ad. I should put my glasses
Yeah,
on.
and it probably should be a capital fee, but it's the
Okay.
ad fee, the cost of having the ad in the paper.
This is the problem. Pretty sad. Okay. So there's no legal in this. We wouldn't be reviewing it, I don't know, review it every time. We've been through the ordinance.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's really something, yeah, I don't think they have enough money. You know,
Do you know what other towns are doing?
and the other towns that are doing this, lots of those big towns they have their own legal department, so.
Right.
You know.
No, but what are they,
I'm sure
but
that-
total fee, sorry. Pass the.
Oh, yeah, anywhere's between, $800 and $10,000. So to say that we're out of line, we're not even close to being out of line.
Right.
Put a clause in there, other, but other fees, like if they come up, like if there has to be legal fees.
The state will not allow us to add legal fees into the cost, unless they're a department of the town. So if we were the city of Auburn and we had a city attorney on staff, we could have the city attorney review the application for completeness, and that would be okay. But since we don't have an attorney on staff, we're really not allowed to do that. That's why when I say I'm not proficient enough to do background checks, we definitely have to outsource that,
And there's different values, you can get the cheap background check or the
Right.
decent background check.
Absolutely.
How far they go, they only check state of Maine records, or they check records from around the country, or,
Yes.
so. And the $250 or $300 one, I'm assuming is a background check that's a national.
So if we wanted a criminal net, it would be a lot more than that. So that background check does, driving, criminal, state of Maine. Once you start adding states onto it, it's at $50 to $75 a state, depending on the state. Depending on what the state charges them to do it.
So that would concern me though, if all we're looking at is the state of Maine, it seems like we're really leaving the door open. If we're doing background checks, we gotta do background, it's just not hard to drive over from New Hampshire, drive up from Massachusetts, you know what I mean, pick it,
But somebody could come from Colorado.
right,
Yeah.
right,
And,
yeah,
you
so, and what is it for a national background check, Jamie, is that thousands of dollars?
Probably, because, there's no, I don't know. I would have to ask them. I can't, I'm not gonna speak out of turn because I would have to send the email and say, how much is it to do a nationwide background check on, we're doing these, well, let's face it, when we're doing renewals, unless the owners have changed, I don't think we have to do a background check every year.
Right, agreed.
If the owners have not changed, maybe I'm assuming wrongly, but I'm assuming that if the state, even in a medical arena, would pick up on a felony for an owner.
Yeah, I agree, we don't have to
Yeah.
go backwards, we just,
Now, does the state, when do they do a national background check? Or do they just do the one state?
For adult use, I believe they're doing, I don't know for sure, but I believe they're doing a thorough
Yeah,
background check.
we should, so, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're making this up, which is exactly what I don't wanna do.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So we should, maybe a background check for Rockland County's all we need. I can't believe that, but, so we ought to figure, I don't know if we talked to the sheriff about that, or who we ask, or ask AvCog, but,
that's the
or
other thing.
MMA.
When the sheriff does a check on that, how far are they gonna go,
Oh, sheriff, we didn't ask the sheriff to do a background check. We asked the sheriff to review their security plan and operational
That's right,
manual
yeah,
to make
yeah,
sure
yeah,
that,
Yeah,
that the facility was, you know,
secure.
safe,
Yeah,
secure. You know, that was what we asked the sheriff to help us with.
Right.
No, we have a third party, it was a retired state trooper that does the background checks for us, and that's his business now.
Right.
You know, he does background checks on employees and,
Right. It's all public record that he can get.
I just heard the other day that, just to get off the topic a little bit, but Andy Whitney got hired by the state as a state fire marshal, and he's getting done with Oxford County.
Really?
And he also got a call from Border Patrol. And I guess he applied at one
Yeah.
and it went through everybody.
Yeah.
And because he had they'd already done a check on him, that the Border Patrol and the US Marshals were both chasing after him.
Good for him.
But he's going to, Bristol County is where he's gonna be stationed at.
Yeah. Working for the fire marshal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Good for him.
state.
Good for him. So Amy, I good stuff. We still have,
so we're just still working. All right, so are we good with legal fees, illegal ad fees? We're good.
check.
All right, we're good with the licensing fee. All right, so we just need to, A, make sure that the background check doesn't have to be like a part of the licensing fee, and B, that we have enough money in it per person to cover the cost.
And what, we should get some direction on what the background check should be.
Okay. Well,
And I don't know if that's MMA, or that's AvCog, or let's call Andy Whitney and see what Andy thinks.
Well, I asked the guy that's gonna do the
Yeah.
background check, to
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
you
yeah.
what he's gonna check for.
Yep.
State, national, or per state. Okay. All right, and costs.
The goal here is clear, we're not trying to make any money on this, we're just simply trying to cover our cost of it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else on these? We'll get this figured out.
Move on.
This has been a long one.
Well, the good news is that, that we shouldn't expect any of them until January.
Because the state is still
The
working on it.
state doesn't even, will not accept the applications until the 5th of December, and I think they have 2 or 3 weeks to
Right.
turn them around.
Right. But that's, I mean, January's 2 meetings away at this point, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we have 3 meetings to figure it out, but,
No, I'll get this to you for the next meeting.
okay. All good?
Another thing I was, just when we're talking about meetings, I'm wondering if we could, somewhere in the middle between the 3rd and the 17th, and just have one meeting next month.
Well, let's get to that when we get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go there when we get there. Which is soon.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it was, yeah.
on to reports.
Is Sherry Norton, is she AvCog?
She is AvCog, yeah.
She helped with the ordinance,
She
correct?
did.
Right.
Would this be something that might be beneficial to some of us? Or would it just more or less pertain? So I guess we don't really know, some of us don't really know the planning board is real, we know what the role is, but I mean, maybe it would educate us a little bit more on,
So the
What
goal
works?
of the training is to educate the new planning board members on how the meeting is run. The chairman's gonna get, some training on how to run the meeting, and then also go over the UDRO and what their authority is within the parameters of the UDR. And then I did ask her to stay because they have their first application coming in that night, and we gave her a copy of the application, and within the UDRO, there is language where the planning board can ask to have an escrow set up for planning services that the planning board needs. So I think the planning board seems in favor, through emails with the chairman, that they're gonna move forward with asking them to set up an escrow and have Shelley get them through that first application, or maybe the first couple of applications, so that they kind of have a little guidance, and then see where they go from there.
How are we doing for members? Anybody else? Nothing? Perfect.
Area acceptance.
He did, and we swore him in, and he attended the first meeting.
So,
We're at
Gooch,
5.
we got 5. Gooch, Kenny, Becky, Gary, who am I missing? Nobody?
Oh, we're at 4. We're at 4? We have 4 planning board members.
Okay. And 3 of the 4. Okay. Keep asking, I guess.
Yep. And I ask every time I see somebody.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on the town administrator's report? How's the code enforcement officer?
A little bit slick up there above letter S, isn't it?
Yeah, they hadn't plowed the road when the first snowstorm, and it was so soft, and couldn't really plow the gravel road real well, so they packed it. And next day, or the
Really
day after,
nice.
it rained and iced over, and nobody, they're not there yet.
You did big work in sand.
Yeah. Yep, they were up sanding it by the time I got up there to check to see if we had sanded it.
Tink, thanks for putting in those stakes.
No problem.
David, what is an MBIOA mean?
Mean building inspectors and officials association. And we're gonna talk about solar panels, solar fields, solar farms.
Very good. Any questions for David? Selectmen's reports.
I guess, I don't know if this is the time to bring it up, we could wait until December, but Christmas is on Wednesday.
Okay.
I think there's quite a few people that have asked for that week off for Christmas.
Okay.
I am thinking that maybe if we just give them Thursday off, the day after. I know we already give them the half a day Christmas Eve, but it's kind of I think it would be a good gesture, I guess, if we give them the day after to spend with their families.
Mhm.
I mean, it's up to you guys, but if you, I mean, because I think, you know, some of them, a couple of them are already, I guess, asked for the time off, so it would leave the newbie all by herself. And I think that, you know, it would be a good gesture.
That'd be you?
I think it would be a good gesture. I don't know what Dave had planned, whether he was working or was taking it off, but I don't know, it's up to you
Right,
guys.
because we'd have Wednesday off, come back to work Thursday. after,
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't have an issue. It doesn't, I mean, I don't think there's gonna be much business transacted.
Day after Christmas.
Right.
We don't take returns.
No, right, right.
I mean, that was just
Yeah.
my thoughts, and
Yeah.
if,
Yep.
you know, if it's not a good idea, that's, so be it, but.
No, I think it is a good idea, and I think we should do it now, because let's give people time to plan.
You need a motion for that?
Yeah, yes, please.
We'll make a motion that we give the town employees Thursday after Christmas,
the 26th.
the 26th off.
I'll second that. All those in favor? Sounds like enjoy your day off.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for all the work.
Well, it makes up for some of these times that they have to stay till 7 o'clock at night for meetings and stuff.
Listen to us blather.
Yeah.
So next, select board meeting. So right now we are scheduled for the 3rd and the 17th. My only concern about combining, Tank, is this, I wanna make sure we get this marijuana piece
Yeah.
put to bed.
So you can meet on the 3rd, but I have parent-teacher conferences on the 3rd.
All right.
Because they had a snow day on the 12th or 19th or 18th, or whatever day it was supposed to be. So,
But you could fill me in on where we are with the ordinance stuff, and I can bring it to these guys, and, yeah, so we'll just, you're gonna have to remind me of that, but, yeah, I know what you do, talk me through it, I'll talk to these guys through it,
okay.
that's, yeah.
My original thought was that we could hit somewhere in the middle between the 3rd and the 17th and just have one.
Might be a long one,
But
but we should be ready. I mean, I'm pretty clear what I need to look for this. Be ready.
Yeah. I think we go with the, in my opinion, let's go with the, let's leave both right now, and they can be quick, they can, you know, if we can get, if they can be hour-long meetings, 45-minute meetings, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, if we think we need Amy, we could go, what is that, that's a Tuesday, so we can move it to Monday? Or has somebody got something on Monday?
Oh, yeah, I know, wait a second,
I don't know, maybe we, you know, I'm just,
That's
I
next
got
Monday.
a, I've got a commitment Monday.
Right.
Like, here's the thing of doing it on the 3rd is I have a day to get it ready. So I have a day, you give me a day, because we don't have the rest of this week. And it's next week.
Oh, you taking Thanksgiving off?
Yeah. Yeah, yes I am, as a matter of fact.
Jimmy the door in your way.
So I think if we wanna do 2 meetings, I would suggest we move it to the next, do you have something going on the next
I
Tuesday?
don't think so.
So we have it on that Tuesday, and then we evaluate if we need to have it on the 17th, because, yeah, I have a
Okay.
day.
Yep,
Alright, so
okay.
that would be the
10th.
10th. The 10th,
Yeah.
Right.
Same time.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe it works out, you know, we'll see what we got for an agenda right on the 10th.
Yeah, if we have
If we
anything.
get it all done in the long one, we can do it, if we need to
Yeah.
come back for the, right, cause you start pushing at Christmas and
I guess I
stuff.
got one other thing is, the fire department has decided that they're not gonna have the Christmas party because it hasn't been real well attended. Cause there's really just a handful of us. And, but they would like to do the collection, the donation for the 9 wheelers Christmas
Yeah,
for
yeah.
kids.
Yeah,
If anybody is interested in donating, then that would be good, if not,
is
but
that,
that's,
does the box just go in the town office, or where's the box go?
I think usually we used to just give it to Bruce and Bruce,
Right.
but I guess probably this year, you could probably, if somebody wanted to do it, leave it in the town office. And I could have Alan come pick it up, or I could pick it up, or Tink,
You
and,
put something on Facebook about that and let people know that?
If I get, like, the information, because
Right.
I never really understood what I knew we were giving to needy kids in the Bethel area or the MSAD 44 area, but,
Christmas for Kids is something Nina Wheeler has done forever.
all right.
She's
Christmas
taken
for kids.
this on herself, it's gotta be 30 years, right?
Close to it.
You ever see her garage
Yeah.
with all the stuff in it? It's amazing. She built a garage for all the stuff. And then she goes out and gives it to,
well, I don't know if I meant for the whole town, but if we want to open it to that, that's fine, but I was just
Oh, I
thinking
got it.
town employees and
Oh, I got it.
fire department members, but I mean, if you wanna go that far, that's fine
Yeah.
too, but,
Why not?
I would say, yeah.
They don't
I
have
mean,
to.
because I think there's other organizations that
do it.
are doing it, so I mean, we don't wanna hit Well, and it's usually the same people that are in the same organization, so, but they'll
Yeah.
either donate or they won't, so.
Okay,
Yeah, I think Rotary helps out.
yeah.
Christmas for Kids is awesome, and that's just a homegrown thing that's been going forever, and, you know, support from the fire department and stuff's been very good. Anything else? For a motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
all those in favor? All right, you guys, enjoy your holiday.